Good morning, everybody out there in SWGOH. As you can see, I am in the middle of Snowpocalypse 2, Blizzard Boogaloo, which means that you get more time with Egnards, and I'd like to spend that time continuing our discussion on eras. Now, this time, I really want to focus on era challenges, which are a game mode that replaced Galactic Challenges. And I don't really think anyone really liked Galactic Challenges, but they at least had some puzzle, some mystique, something interesting about them. And they gave wonderful creators like Bit Dynasty a lot of content to work with on a very consistent basis. Whereas era challenges are just a stat check that says, hey, do this thing, get this prize. It's not that great. Have fun. Good luck, whatever. Well, there's a change coming to era challenges that seemingly on the surface looks fine, right? But some news came out over the weekend through the data mine that really put into perspective the shift that CG is doing with these eras and with these challenges. And I don't think enough people are talking about this yet. So I want to get into it today, and we'll do that right after the intro. Okay, so let's head over actually to the game. We're going to go over to the era challenge that is currently available. And this era challenge is the old way of doing era challenges. And we'll talk about that in just a second. But this is what those eras functionally look like right now. You have a boss at a certain EL level. You do that battle. You get however much era currency. At tier 1 it's 40, so that's going to be most players. Tier 2 it's 80. This is where maybe some players are going to be, and then all the way down to 1600 down here at the end with level 72 bosses. Now, you don't necessarily have to be the same level as these characters. For example, these level 51 bosses I did beat at level 48, right? So I was able to get this a little earlier than anticipated, which provides for a small little interesting challenge, I guess, sometimes, sort of. In the old era, these challenges were not interesting at all because all of the characters had zero synergy with each other, and the synergy that they had in Coliseum was turned off in era challenges. So you were thrown into a battle with a bunch of characters who don't work together, and it really was just fundamentally a full-on stat check. In this era, we don't necessarily know how cohesive things will work, but we do know at least that the characters are designed to go together, which does allow for a testing environment. But with the era of Andor, I'm going to pull this up real quick. We did get this era challenge. More ways to play will be introduced during the second era challenge, right? And the Clea one that I just showed you is the first era challenge. And it says we will be introducing a new 4-feat system for era challenges. Each challenge tier will now feature 4 distinct feats with escalating EL requirements. Clea's era challenge will only have the 1 feat per tier, but the other 5 will have 4 feats. The goal? This provides a reason to revisit challenges as your squad grows, giving everyone, especially free-to-play players, more opportunities to earn rewards and engage with the new units throughout the era. Now, right off the bat, we do know that the era challenges will have escalating EL requirements, so that's not necessarily a surprise. But we do have this expectation that there will be 4 fundamentally different feats to go along with, and I'm going to say that I was hopeful at this point in the challenges, in the update notes, to say, hey, you know what, maybe the rewards will be increased for free-to-play players, right? But that does not seem to be the case, because in the data mine on Saturday, we did get a little tidbit of what to expect with these era challenges going forward. We're going to pull that up right over here, right? We have Discord up. I'm going to show you what an old era challenge looked like. Right, and this is from the last event cycle. This is from the era of anniversaries. Level 1, all of your enemies are level 11. You get 40 era currency, right? Tier 2, all of your enemies are level 23, you get 80 currency. Level 3, all of your enemies are level 35, you get 120 currency. Great, wonderful. We don't like it. It's not interesting. It's boring. It's a stat check. Fine, whatever. But at least it is a basis for what we're talking about here. Now, let's take a look at what these era challenges are going to look like coming up with Vel, right? Level 1, same level 11 enemies, 4 feats, starting at level 11. Each feat is just win with that character in the squad at different era levels, starting at level 11 all the way up to 21. And we could say, hey, you know what? Actually, Egnards, this is not a terrible thing for the game because now free-to-play players are getting more rewards. But they're not. Free-to-play players are actually getting less rewards here, and it's really shit. Like, it's terrible for them. Because instead of getting 40 era currency at level 11, they are now getting 40 era currency from level 11 to level 21. And as we know right now, free-to-play players should actually be somewhere around level 14 or 15 if they've invested nothing extra in the era. They can't even go further with crystals right now because a lot of those currencies are not crystal friendly until later in the era. So now free-to-play players, instead of getting 40 era currency, are getting 10 to 20 era currency. And the players who are spending money are getting the exact same they were before, right? And they're not incentivized to go further up here. We're kind of looking at this and going, wait a second, I was getting this for the last 3 months. Now I'm getting less unless I spend more, right? Looking all the way at the top tier, it's the same thing. So we can look at this, and I know that my screen kind of dies down here at the top. We'll scroll it up there. Good. That tier 6, which was normally level 72, and you'd get 1,600 era currency. It is now level 72, gets you 400 era currency, up to level 80, which gets you 1,600 total era currency. Now, that 1,600 total era currency was available to you as a player at level 72 before, but now CG is saying, oh, by the way, you actually have to spend money because in the event you do end up getting to these era levels, this is where era currency, era whatever level up Mark 7 currency, there's so many fucking currencies. This is where those currencies start to hard require cash, or the journey guide allows you to get small amounts of it once we get to Cassian. But this is where you really have to start paying cash, right? And those players are being told, hey, what you were getting before doesn't matter. You're actually getting a quarter of that, maybe a half of that, and you only get 4x. You only get what you were getting before if you decide to spend additional money, right? This isn't a 4 feet system. This is not a system where CG is saying, hey guys, we're doing something great for the community. We're increasing the rewards and we're giving free-to-play players more options. It's not happening. That's the PR answer, right? That's the answer that they're giving us, but that's not actually what we're seeing on paper. Again, if we look at those free-to-play rewards and we look at the era levels on those free-to-play rewards, free-to-play players right now and during this era challenge that is going on right now are getting 40 era currency, and it sucks, but it's better than nothing. Going forward with Vel, those players can expect to get 1/2 of the rewards they were getting before. And if you're a light spender, you might be getting the exact same. Or you're getting 3/4 of, right? There's no you're getting more rewards. That's a fallacy. That's a lie. It's crap. What's happening is that if you spend a lot, you get the same rewards you're getting right now. If you spend a small amount, you're getting 3/4 of the rewards you're getting right now. And if you spend no money, you are getting 1/2 of the rewards you are getting right now. There is no increased difficulty. There is no cool challenge. There is no, oh, let's wait for the Bit Dynasty video because he stayed up all night figuring this thing out and it's really cool and it gives him something to talk about. There's just, hey, this is 4 copy and pasted feats of varying degrees of difficulty. And over the course of the week, you get to do them, I guess, if you want, if you've gotten the levels, which, of course, as a free-to-play player, if you're a free-to-play player, you are not getting. Again, I feel like every video I say this, I'm very frustrated. I've seen a lot of friends quit over the last couple of weeks. I've seen guildmates quit. I've seen content creators quit. And I know the game, sadly, unfortunately, is more healthy than ever revenue-wise. There's a lot of new money in this game right now. There are a lot of players who don't understand the old ways, who see a lot of these changes as very positive to them because they are big spenders and it allows them to go into legacy modes and era modes and focus on the new while focusing on the old. And I actually love that. I think it was a very, very, very smart move by CG to do something like that, where the hyperdrive bundle was a band-aid, where accelerated shards was a band-aid, where accelerated gear was a band-aid, right? Coliseum and eras were surgery to correct the issue. But unfortunately, in correcting the issue, they have caused 4 more issues. They left their earbuds in my body when they sewed me back up. They punctured my kidney when they fixed my lung. I don't know what it is. The game mode itself is awesome. It's so smart. But the way they are going about doing this is so fundamentally player unfriendly, veteran unfriendly. And a lot more people need to be talking about this right now because this is a wholly player unfriendly change. There is no player who benefits from this. Whales are not getting more money. They're just being told they have to spend more and earlier. Casual spenders are getting less rewards. Free-to-play players are getting less rewards. CG, this is messed up. This is real messed up. Oh, man, I don't even know. Guys, pass it around. Talk about it. Get other creators to talk about it. We've elicited change in the past. We've made changes in the past. We've had CG reverse course in the past. This is not the way. This is not some Mandalorian crap. This is some underhanded PR stunt. Not a fan at all. Talk about it. Be angry about it. Be reasonable about it. Don't be rude. Don't flip out. Don't go on angry rants. This has to be fixed if we want the game to continue to thrive and if we want the people we're playing with to continue to want to play the game. I don't know what else to say. If you like being informed on these types of things, if you like this type of content, hit subscribe and let me know. But more important than that, just get the news out, get people talking about it, sharing it, hearing about it, because this is going to go under the radar until next week. And by next week, it's going to be too late and they're not going to care. With that said, I have to go out and shovel, apparently, I guess. So peace out. Have a great rest of your day.